Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto, and before we get started on this weekend's episode, I thought to give a shout out to everybody that got me coffees, starting with you, Ruwa. Thank you so much for your generosity, and your comment reads, "Thanks so much for an entertaining podcast and keep us gasping and laughing every week." Yo, this stuff ain't a joke, man. And then next up, we have VS Jade. Thank you so much for your continued support. You've supported the podcast in more than one way, and for you to do this really goes a long way. I appreciate you. And then last but not least, we have Ndini Fadzi, also known as Mbinga. Oh no, that's not right. If you're a woman, you're a Mbingeress. Thank you so much for your continued support. This is not the first time that you've gotten me coffees, and your comment goes, "Please keep laughing." Guys, this thing ain't a joke. But no, I get it. Thank you so much. If you'd like to do the same, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com /feeling. Oh man, that's a tongue twister. Let's try it again. If you'd like to give your support, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com /feeling station and give as your spirit leads. Remember, there's nothing that is too small to keep the podcast that you've grown to love alive. Without out of the way, let's head over into this weekend's episode. And hey, I gotta warn you, this one is something else. Brace yourselves.
Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here.
On the Feeling Station.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
Hi, I'm good.
Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
Oh, nervous.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me that you were feeling nervous a couple of minutes ago. But hey, like I said, this is the place where we sit down and chill and just talk. So within 5 minutes or so, all your nerves, I hope, would have gone.
I hope so too. So too.
So before we get started, for those who are listening to the podcast for the first time, it touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give you lessons from my guest experience. And one of the reasons why the podcast is doing well is because I do my best to keep my guests anonymous, which brings me to the fun part. The part that I give you the name that you're going to use for the duration of this episode.
Okay.
You seem nervous. You sound nervous.
I am. I'm like, I'm going to make a fool of myself right now in about 2 minutes. But
This is
okay.
going to be very interesting. So I've gone over to Libya. And the name that I have for you, have you got a pen and paper for this? Because I
Yes, I
think you
do.
will need. You do? Okay. So
Okay.
it's Jafina, which is JA double F.
Double F.
Yep, INA, Jafina.
Jafina.
Yeah,
What does
Jafina.
that mean?
Now that means someone who keeps away from sins.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. This is irony.
Oh, is it ironic? How so?
Okay,
How
right
is it
now I
ironic?
do. Right now I do, but back then, my gosh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was kind of getting into all sins.
In fact, do you know what, yeah? I think the only person who's really able to keep away from sins is going to be something like Gabriel, the angel, or something, because we are all born with sin, right? It's human to sin.
That's true. That's
So for
true.
someone to say someone who keeps away from sin, I wish to meet someone like that in real life. So that's what Jafina means.
I like it. I like it
Yeah?
because I'm trying to be a Jafina right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, I like that too. And one of the other reasons why the podcast is doing great is, in fact, before I get to that part, I need you to tell me the name of the guy that you're going to talk about.
This is interesting because I think we're gonna go with the Bible theme here.
Oh, okay.
I had picked Job. Job,
Ooh.
like Job from the Bible.
Jeez, I remember Job. Job went through a tumultuous time, because he had, he had all of those ailments that came. He lost all his wealth and all his riches, and his family kept on telling him to, get rid of God and denounce the love for God. But he stood by God. And then God
Yes.
eventually gave him everything back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over.
Exactly. He was a good man, but he went
Yeah.
through shit. Yeah, he was an amazing man. He was loyal to God and stuff, but he
Yeah.
went through shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why Job.
So you're going to stick with the name Job?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the name Job.
Okay. So the story is pretty much about Jafina and Job.
Jafina and Job, JJ. I like it.
That's actually a really good collaboration there.
Yeah.
The second reason why the podcast is doing good is there are real life lessons that you, as the listener, can pick up from my guest story. So for you, Jafina, what would you like people to learn from the story that you're going to share today?
I think I'm gonna go with fall in love with how you're treated. Because
Ooh,
if they value you, they will treat you right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I'm just gonna play that back. So you said fall in love with how you're treated. That's really
Yes.
deep. And then because
Yeah.
if somebody falls in, I mean, because if somebody values you, they will treat you right.
Yes. You're not
Awesome.
gonna hate. You're not gonna hate on what you love. You're not gonna mistreat it. You're not gonna abuse it because you love it.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
that is magic. I really like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then have you got a second lesson?
This is the second and last that good
Mm-hmm.
boys ain't fun.
Hey, do you know why I'm laughing? Because I'm
Why?
always saying this. The good guys finish last. That's what they say. And the good girls
That's
finish.
true.
It's funny and it's weird, right? I've got a
It
couple of
is.
friends who I
Yeah.
know, they are really good girls. Like they're amazing women. But the guys that
Mhm.
they're with, I'm just like, yo, what is this
I
about?
know.
I mean, so I'm hoping that your story is gonna, in part, tell us why girls love bad boys because that ties into your lesson. You said good boys
Ain't fun.
ain't
But
fun.
bad boys ain't good. Like they say, bad boys ain't good because they ain't good. Let's just be honest, they are not.
Right. So I'm gonna play those two lessons back. First one up: fall in love with how you're treated. Because if
Mhm,
somebody values you, they will treat you right and they won't mistreat
mhm.
anything that they love. And then
Of
lesson number
course,
two, good boys ain't fun, but bad boys ain't good.
they ain't good.
This has already sounded like lyrics to a song. So we're gonna crack straight
Mhm.
into it. Jafina, where did you meet Job and why did you decide this is the guy that I want to be with?
So this is I need like a small background to how I met Job because it
Yeah,
all
sure.
adds up. Yeah.
hmm
So Jafina at the moment is very naive, like
Well,
straight from.
in fact,
Mhm.
before we won't even describe her as Jafina, just say I was very because you're
I
talking
was
about you,
very
right?
That's true. That's
Go
true.
for it.
I was very naive. I was hoping like if I make it a third person, I'll feel less guilty. But
Nah, we don't do
nah.
third person here.
Okay, you got me.
uh-huh.
I
hmm
was very naive at the moment. I was fresh off high school. And in my region, we do not discuss matters sex in school. Like we do not discuss sexuality, we do not discuss feelings. You just find out on your own.
Why? Why
It's
is that?
I don't know. I think it's just the culture. It's the culture. Like they're afraid if they teach kids like
hmm
safe sex and sex, they're
hmm
gonna like vouch for them to go have sex or something.
Now, the way that I see that, I was introduced to a woman's vagina in biology. And
Me
and I
too.
was
Okay.
15 when we're talking about the reproductive system, like this is a
Yes.
penis, this is vagina, and when the two come
Hmm.
together, if one gets excited, some seeds get planted on an egg, and an egg produces babies.
Yes.
So that's when I got introduced to it. And I remember um, getting more curious about what that thing probably looks like in real life. So I kind
Uh-huh.
of see why there would be that hesitation to talk about it because it makes your brain curious about what it is in real life.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And in my part, it's so bad they try to suppress it. Like in
Mm-hmm.
high school here, like they're mostly gendered, first of all. The high schools are mostly gendered. And they put liquid paraffin in food, like kerosene, and apparently it's supposed to like suppress the libido.
You're joking.
I am not kidding.
That could be dangerous.
I know. And they'll even put like I I know they'll even put like a more like some more dose if there's like a boys' school coming to visit.
No
Just to suppress
way.
the libido further. Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm not. I
And
am
the
not.
reason why I say that is that kerosene is actually dangerous if it's if
Somebody
it's
please.
if it's consumed by humans.
Yeah, somebody tell my government that it's actually not even my country only. It's my region. Like this is quite common.
That is crazy because kerosene is actually what they call combustible hydrocarbon, right? Which is derived from petroleum. And if
Mm-hmm.
somebody consumes that, it's as good as consuming wax. And when wax is put into your system, it coagulates everything in there.
And apparently,
Your blood is not going to flow properly. Um, and when your blood doesn't flow properly, what happens? You die. I
I
cannot
know.
believe they. Okay, so could you guys taste that some kerosene has been put in this food?
We would. We actually thought it was a spice at some point. I
This is incredible. I've never heard anything like this in my life.
Yep.
Okay.
Come to my part of town.
Okay, so whenever
yeah.
you'd have some of the food without kerosene, you'd feel like there's a spice which is missing from this.
I know, right? Like you go home and you're thinking, something is missing.
This is crazy. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. So yes, you got a lot of boys' schools and a lot of girls' schools. And they didn't teach you pretty much about sex education.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when I'm getting into campus, it's basically me and my non-suppressed libido getting into campus, and we're trying to like discover everything. Yeah. We're trying to discover boys, we're trying to discover life, and just basically who I am at that point.
Yeah.
So few days after I get into campus, I'm in the elevator going to class. Some tall guy walks in. He's rough around the edges. No, this is Dr. Love.
What does rough around the edges mean?
He is a bit, I don't want to say a bit ghetto, but a bit unkempt.
Okay. A bit okay, a bit rough,
A bit rough, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, you guys look like you guys look like you're freshmen. I say, yeah. He's like, good, because my name is Dr. Love. And I have enough love to go around.
Hey.
I'm thinking, you are cheesier than a person. Yeah, you are just
that
cheesy.
guy was a cheesy. He was a cheesy brother, wasn't he? He was very cheesy, yeah.
He was, and I did not mind because cheesy just shows me that you have some level of confidence. So we hit it off because I'm very chatty. We become friends instantly, and he becomes like a life coach. He is introducing me to everything, to weed, to alcohol, to partying. Every single thing I get to know through him. He also introduces me to my first boyfriend, Job.
So, Dr. Love, didn't Dr. Love have an interest in you?
He actually did, but he was just too much for me. I am chatty. He is chatty. I can see through the cheesiness. I think he just decided to give his brother a through pass at this point. I am not sure why, because he tried to hit on me quite a few times, but he just decided to give a brother a hookup or something.
Did you say no to him when he tried to hit on you?
I did. I made it very clear because there was somebody on the low whom I was interested in. He had a ponytail. I was liking that ponytail. And I was like, nah, this is not going to work.
Now you're confusing me a little bit here. So you've got the guy who's rough around the edges with unkempt hair that you're attracted to and drawn to because you like his energy. But on the low, you like a fine kept guy who's got a ponytail.
Yes.
So
and
which
I'm
of
not
the
attracted to I'm not attracted to Dr. Love sexually. I like him as a person. I like him as a friend. Yeah.
Right. So you like the energy that he has as an individual, but on a sexual level, he's not appealing to you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, the ponytail guy. What was happening there then?
We had gone on a few dates. We had gone on a picnic here. But he was not doing the most, basically. He was not treating me like a lady. Like he was just there half-assing. Let me just say half-assing that relationship. We would not be meeting up.
And now for someone who had not been exposed to sex and weed and all of that, how did you know how a woman should be treated?
Because I think Dr. Love was kind of showing me the other side. Like you can be going on dates every single night if you'd like, because we'd basically be going out, not just me and him, but me and him and his boys. I had come to realize that maybe influence from the TV, but I got to know that there could be more.
Okay, I see. And this wasn't coming from Mr. Ponytail.
It was not coming from Mr. Ponytail.
Okay, right.
So Job, on this particular day when Job is introducing me to actually hooking his brother up, because I did not know it was a hookup. We're going home from school and Job comes to meet us. My first impression of him is that he is just short. He is a short man. I'm a 5'3", and he's also like a 5'3".
Oh dear. Okay.
I know. Somebody needs to get things from the top shelf. So
yeah. True.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to the stage. They take me to the bus station to get my bus. He offers to buy us something to drink. And as he goes to buy something to drink, Dr. Love is telling me that this guy is a good guy. I'm like, yeah, whatever. no ponytail, not gonna work for me. I go
Okay.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after that, he keeps coming to like the things that we're doing. Like if it's a drink up, he's there. He's
Mhm.
always showing up.
Mm-hmm.
But he never like literally like approaches me or tells me anything.
Mm-hmm.
Until one day we go out, I get tipsy. I used to be very stupid when I was tipsy. I would attract attention. I'll just try seek for attention.
How would you attract this attention? What would you do?
I'll be dancing with like everyone in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be pulling on people's shirts so that they can listen to me. I don't know. I was
Wow.
just silly. I was too much. I was
You
too
would turn
much.
into something completely different to when you were sober.
Completely different. Yeah.
Okay.
I was used to taking milk like 2
Mm.
months ago. Now I'm just taking weed and everything rolled.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was literally from one extreme to the other.
From one extreme to the other. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this night I get tipsy, and Dr. Love says that, you know what, you are too tipsy to go home by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So go home with Job. He'll take good care of you.
Mm.
I'm thinking Job is an unlikely suggestion. Like, I don't even talk to him that much.
Mm.
But he convinces me that he's gonna be good. If he tries anything, I should call him.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. I go home to Job's place, and true to Dr. Love's words, he does not even try to like touch me or anything. We basically sleep in the same bed. He does not offer to sleep on the couch, but he does not do anything. Yeah.
How did that make you feel that he didn't do anything? Did that make you feel unattractive?
No, not really. I'd not had sex. So no.
Okay.
I was actually very terrified of sleeping with a man. I'd slept in the corner, like next to the wall. Very close.
You
with
really
all
tucked
my
yourself
clothes.
to the edge of the bed, yeah?
Yes, with all my clothes. I almost went in with my shoes.
Wow.
All my clothes. I was not willing to change into anything. I don't know. I was paranoid. I slept with
Okay.
all my clothes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next day, I decided, you know what? This man is a good man. He did not do anything to me. He did not rape me. I better reward him. I make him a meal. I make him spaghetti. I think I make him some meatballs or something.
Mm-hmm.
He mistakes this for like wife material.
Mm.
And spoiler alert, I was not wife material, by the way. I was not.
You knew you were not wifey material, but in his
I
head, he
know.
thought, oh, okay, she's doing all the right things.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to go to his end of year party.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to one of those, so I decided, you know what, why not? I want to go to an end of year party. And this is how I get to realize that Job is a man who lets you shine. Yeah. Job creates the setup, and you're the jewel. Like, shine, baby, shine.
Nice.
I'm going to provide you with everything. If you need water, you get it. And I'm going to sit back and just watch you.
Yeah.
Let you be. Yeah. So at the end of your party, it's quite nice. We chat. And again, I go back to his place. And not because I'm interested, but because I have nothing else to do. I'm bored.
Wow. So you were going over to a guy's house just to chill and have a bit of fun, but you're not really into the guy.
No, I was not into him.
So how were you going to have fun?
I don't know. I just think I didn't have anything else to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just say I did not have anything else to do.
Yeah. And he was better than doing nothing, pretty much.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
So here he's trying to show me how he's a better man because he knows about my ponytail guy. He's buying me airtime that night, that specific night. He's buying me airtime. He asked me, but why isn't your ponytail guy calling you? You've been here 2 days.
Yeah.
Nothing from him. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. He is not doing the most. But yeah, after that, we go out on a few more dates. He introduces me to his boys. I meet everyone. And he is kind of showing me off.
So what is he introducing you as?
Just as I don't know, he does not say anything, but he just takes me, like we're always together. Like he takes me to a meetup with his boys.
So you basically
like,
say, hi, this is Jafina, this is
exactly.
blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool.
This is blah, blah, blah. And he manages to convince me that he's a better person. So I decided, you know what, ponytail guy, you gotta go. Job, you're next.
Okay.
But to be honest, I wasn't like interested in terms of feelings. I liked how he treated me, but I did not know much or think much about him.
Mm.
Does it make sense?
It makes sense. It sounds to me like he was in the brother zone right from the beginning. That's what it sounds like, because you like how he treats you as a person, but he doesn't feel like you had sexual chemistry with him yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. At school, I become friends. I start getting my own friends apart from Dr. Love, friends
Mm-hmm.
from my own class. We form like a clique of 10 people
Mm-hmm.
and we start hanging out at the hostels. But then the moment Job and I became a relationship, he started taking me out on a date on every single night.
Every night?
Every night we would have my favorite meal.
Did this
Every
guy come?
single night.
Did this guy come from a wealthy family?
No, he did not. The
So how?
meal was not expensive, by the way, but it was my favorite meal. So that is what I like to eat, and that is what he'd buy us every single night.
What is it that you like to eat?
Pulav. It's an Indian dish.
Okay, right, gotcha. So you
Yeah.
had that every day.
Every day for as long as I was in school and he was at work. I knew at
Wow.
7 that's what I'm going to have.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But so at school I get my own friends. We start chilling out.
Sorry,
Go
out of
ahead.
curiosity, before you speak more about your friends,
Mhm.
you've told me that you guys are now a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right?
Mhm.
So you're boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody who you have in the brother zone. That doesn't add up. Did you at some point now find him attractive enough for you to say, yes, I see you as my boyfriend?
Oh no, I'm gonna sound terrible because I never found him to be attractive, and that's why he never met my friends.
Whoa. You did not
But
introduce Job to your friends.
never.
Is this at the beginning or during the whole relationship?
Eventually, he gets to meet one.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Right. Were you embarrassed of Job? Was he ugly? Was he not good looking? Was he
No.
unattractive?
Let's not say ugly. No, not ugly, but
Unattractive.
not to me. He was not very attractive to me. I
Aye.
didn't. I
This
know.
doesn't add up. How do you say yes to a guy who's unattractive, a guy you're not sexually attracted to, and the guy who you have in the brother zone because you slept with your clothes on the whole damn time?
Because he is good. He's a good person. He buys me things. He buys me gifts. He takes me out.
Okay,
That's
so
just
we
it.
attracted to his money
Oh
more than
no,
his
don't say
personality.
that.
Well, that's the question because that's how it's coming across now. Everything you just mentioned is got to do with things he was doing for you money wise.
Yeah, let's just say I
And
was not a Jafina. Yeah, I was not good. I
so
wasn't.
you're not keeping away from sins.
I wasn't. And I did not mind money. I did not mind being taken care of. I
Right.
did
I'm
not.
going to ask you a few more questions because this is becoming more interesting as the story unfolds.
Yeah.
When did you guys have sex?
We never did.
You never had sex during the whole relationship.
So wait. At some point, I tell him that I do not want to have sex because I'm a virgin and I want to not have sex till I'm 26. I make it very clear from the word go.
Why 26 specifically?
When I was in high school, there was this very, very pretty chick who came to speak to us. She was a daughter of a pastor, and she mentioned very proudly that she was a 26-year-old virgin. And I
Yeah.
thought it was the coolest thing I ever had. So I kept it.
So does this mean that you never used to feel turned on?
And I'm getting to that point.
Okay, cool.
So we start chilling at the room, 12 people basically. And at first, we're just listening to music. And then we all start playing games, the naughty kind, spin the
Okay.
bottle, truth or dare. Soon enough, people are kissing each other on dares and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was mostly a spectator because I was a scared virgin, but I would make out with a few guys here and there.
What does making out mean?
Fast pace, and then they would try to show off to other people in the room by like touching you like on your breasts and stuff. So first base, second base, but that's it.
You see, you'd have to educate me a little bit. What's the difference between first base and second base?
I feel like the like kissing and stuff, and then first base is like with all the clothes on, like just touching,
Okay.
but no clothes go off. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I would leave them, and then I'd go to job, like on jobs date, and I'd be very, very horny, because I'm doing foreplay at one room and go to jobs. Like, I know.
So what would you do with this feeling that you had?
I would just go make out, like I'd be kissing him, touching him. Sometimes we'd go back home to his place, and he introduced me to oral sex.
Now, who was giving it? Was he giving it to you, or you were giving it to him?
He was giving it to me.
Okay. So he could tell that you are feeling horny, and he also understands that you're a virgin, so he's not in a rush to break that commitment you've made to yourself.
Exactly.
And so he's going for the alternative, the next best thing, which in his head was to give you oral sex.
Exactly.
Okay, so he introduces you to this oral sex thing, and what did you think about it?
I loved it. I was like, please do, like the next day, please do the same thing that you did yesterday. I love it. Not stop.
Okay, right.
Yeah, but that was the mistake that he did. Yeah, like he was introducing me to something that he could not put a lid on it. Like he had just started something that he was not going to end, that is not going to finish. Like once I left that room, he was not in control of who was going to give me head next. He did not know this because he thought that she's a good girl.
Wait a minute. Wait a whole minute. Explain that to me, Jafina. No, I think you're speaking in parables. Explain that to me. So what you're basically saying is he introduces you to receiving head.
Yeah.
You love it so much that you expand it to not just him giving you head.
Soon enough.
Okay. I'll hold fire and let you talk about that, but I'm going to bring it back if you don't. It's now planted at the back of my head. So, okay, go on with the story then.
Anyway, so we go on long holiday, and this is where it all goes south, because we're taking a 5 months holiday from school after the first year.
Yeah.
At this point, I reconnect with a high school friend who had become a dancer.
A boy or a girl?
A girl.
Yeah.
Who had become a dancer. And the dancer lifestyle is different. They live a very different lifestyle here. Like everybody in her dance school had slept with everybody and cheated with everybody, quite literally.
Mad thing.
Like it was one big bedroom.
It doesn't sound like people had a problem with that.
No, they didn't. Like this is Sin City, by the way. Like this is what people do.
That's crazy.
It was. So in the apartment that Kushi, my friend, I'm calling her Kushi, in the apartment that Kushi was living, there was a group of guys who were living together, and they would work out, like lift weights outside their house. And they were quite like chiseled men. They were muscled, yeah. So they're like outside working out, showing off their big guns.
Yeah.
I know, I'm in trouble because I discovered that I do not mind chiseled either. Yeah.
I'm only laughing because of all these discoveries that you're making. So you discovered that you don't mind the chiseled man, yeah?
I do not mind. I do not mind one bit.
Okay. Yeah.
And the chiseled man is giving me attention. One of the boys, muscle boys, giving me attention. So soon enough, I get comfortable. I start when I go to Kushi's place, I'm always going to Muscle Boy's house, and it gives me head quite often.
So, how did he know to give you head? Had you guys had the discussion to say, look, whenever we get physical, I like receiving head?
Do you have that discussion, or do you just pull his head and okay, sorry. I
I
don't think
don't
we had
know.
that
I
discussion.
don't know because the thing is, did he know that you're a virgin?
He did. I made that very clear from the word go.
So that is where he would have got the cue to say that first thing that he's gonna do is not gonna try to have sex, but maybe warm you up to the idea of having sex.
Yes,
And in some guys' heads, that means the closest to that thing is giving head.
that's true.
So you kind of gave him a signal without making it obvious.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, he's giving you head and stuff.
He's giving me head and stuff. Oh, we should just call this the head episode. I don't know.
I think we're gonna do that.
Oh gosh.
Right.
Anyway, we start getting close. Yeah. Anyway, Kushi is interested in one of a crew member in a certain dance group.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interested in a crew member, and one of the boys in the crew member is in the dance school that Kush is going to. So
Yeah.
this boy is coming over to Kush's place quite often
Mm-hmm.
because Kush is inviting her as a way to just hook her up with one of the crew members. Yeah,
Okay.
this guy is dancer boy,
Mhm.
and dancers dance. That's what they do, Tinto. They dance, and that shit is sexy. Yeah.
I've been told that you can tell how good somebody's in bed by the way that they dance.
Apparently.
Yeah. So if that is true, then it ties into exactly what you're saying to say that people who can dance look really sexy.
They do.
Mm.
So at this point, my relationship with Job, you can already tell it's cracking. We are not meeting up. I sometimes switch off my phone for 2 weeks, for as long as at Kush's place. And when I switch it back on, it's like, hey, we are dating. That's what he says. You cannot be doing this. How comes we do not meet? And I just give him excuses like, I'm at home. I'm giving attention to my mom. It's just something stupid. I don't think I gave him any solid reason for him to just stick around.
So you were lying about where you would be.
I was lying, but sometimes I would say I'm at Kush's. But since he knows that Kush is female, he does not suspect a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So when Dancer Boy walks into the picture, one day we're going to the dance school because they used to have happy hour on Fridays and they will sell drinks and perform.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that day that I went to the dance school, Dancer Boy was performing. He was an amazing dancer. Like he got even the solo dances by himself.
Wow.
And that day, as he was dancing, he was only looking at me. Maybe I imagined this, but he was only looking at me.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was just him and I in that room. And that's
Mhm.
all the lines he needed. He did not need to hit on me any further. He had done enough on that dance floor. He had done more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's coming over to Kush's place. We start the naughty games again. Like guys in my area are, I don't know, no game, man. We don't need to play truth or dare for you to get a chick. But anyway, we're playing naughty games. And then now he manages to come with like his crew members. So Kushi is good. Kushi is fine. Yeah, she's sorted.
Mm-hmm.
So we're playing naughty games. We're making out, kissing and stuff, whatever. So one day I dare him to like give me a love bite. I was curious as to how those worked. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
So he gives me a love bite on the neck, and that's that. The next day, as I'm going to the shop, Muscle Boy and his friends are outside.
Hey. Yay. And you got a love bite.
On my neck.
This is about to get interesting. It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. So one of the boys notices the love bite and he says, interesting tattoo on your neck.
Oh.
Snap.
And did he say this in front of all of the guys?
That's exactly what he did in
What
front
a
of all
douche.
his
He's an
guys.
absolute douche. I mean, I get what he was doing for his boys, but bro.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I think the muscle boy had already had also like seen the love bite. So
Mm.
he is furious. He cannot react in front of his boys. So I just go back to the house, like I'm at this point, just go to the house. I'm like, I need to go, I just go. And Muscle Boy follows me to the house.
Mm.
Yeah, he needs an explanation, like where did that tattoo come from? Where did that love bite come from?
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Call it the right thing. Yeah. Where did the love bite come from?
So as I'm trying to explain to him, I am a terrible liar. Like I'm
Mm.
stammering. I'm like, some people came over. It was just a game. Guess who calls?
Dancer boy.
No,
Job.
Job calls. Oh no.
This is crazy.
This is like
Okay,
so I am panicking,
so
yeah.
did you pick up the phone?
I did.
Jesus.
Because he was looking at me like, yeah, like I couldn't just go look at my phone and not pick it. I
Yeah.
had to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, who's that? And on the other side, Job is like, what's happening? Like, who's that? Because he can hear like a male voice in the background.
Yes.
I'm like, how about I call you later? Job is like, you sound like you don't want to talk to me. I tell him yes, because at this point I just need this phone call to end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hang up, and Muscle Boy asks, so is that the guy who was giving you a love bite? I'm like, no. He is livid. He leaves. He's angry. He cannot be able to say anything. He leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when I realized that, by the way, I don't have enough game to have three men at the same time. I am not Captain Planet. Yeah? I cannot do this.
Oh, what a way to realize that, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Somebody
Yeah.
has to go. Somebody has to go.
Mm.
And unfortunately, Muscle Boy, you're chiseled and stuff, but you do not make me see stars as you dance, You have to go.
Wow.
I know. So, and I'm also clearing up the way for Dancer Boy because I'm thinking he could be the main guy. According
Yeah.
to my thinking back then, I was silly.
You see, I like how you say he could be the main guy, which means you're opening the door for other guys or for Job. This is insane. So if Dancer Boy becomes your main guy, was Job gonna be your backup? Or someone else would have been in the backup position? Where was Job in all of this? What number was he?
At this point, Job was like, Job just came. He got an upgrade from 3 because when Muscle Boy was there, it was Job. It was Dancer Boy, Muscle Boy, Job. Now he got an upgrade. Now he was 2. Yeah, a solid
Okay.
second.
Right.
But anyway, so I called Job up and I'm like, yo, you know what? I think I started feeling guilty because I started feeling guilty. I called him up and I'm like, you know what? I think I need a break. He's like, why? I've been acting all weird. I don't know why he was shocked that I needed the break. But he's like, how long do you need this break for? Because Job loved me. To be honest, he did love me a lot.
It sounds that way.
Yeah. So he asks me why do you need a break? I don't give him any solid reason.
Yeah, because you didn't have one. Apart
didn't
from the
have
fact
any.
that you weren't into him. So why weren't you honest enough to tell him that it's because I'm not into you?
Maybe I was afraid of hurting him. I don't know.
But you were hurting him by being dishonest.
That's true.
So you wouldn't have made it any worse. In fact, you'd have made it better for him. Then he would have been able to make a choice, either to stay or leave, knowing that he's got the information. So you pretty much robbed him of that.
That's true. I was selfish. Yeah, I was.
Okay.
But I asked for a break so that I can try see if Dancer Boy is the one. I don't know which one, but the one. Yeah. So, but while on a break, I am a terrible person. Anyway, Kushi and I will be hungry, and if I needed food, I know the guy to call is Job. So I would call him up.
Wow.
I
Just like
know.
we thought, and just like we said, Job was really just in this as the money guy. He was the one who was taking care of
Yeah.
your financial needs, and then occasionally giving you a good head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say that you used Job?
I did use him a lot.
And did you know that you were using him at the time, or now when you look in hindsight is when you realize that you were using him?
Yeah, and then when I look in hindsight, I look in retrospect, and I think about it, I think I was using him. At
Yeah.
that moment, I was just discovering, and I thought I was a 10. I thought I was an amazingly beautiful chick
Yeah.
who deserved all that life had to offer. I don't know. I was not thinking much, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would call him up and he would buy me food. And by the way, I'm not a fan of meat. And he knew it because he knew me so well. But I would go and I'm like, I want chips and chicken. He goes to the counter, forgets the order, returns. He's like, are you eating chicken? I'm like, yeah. And you know what? I eat my chips because he buys us food and goes back to his office. He just comes, buys us food literally and goes back to the office. So this is when he gets to meet Kushi.
Right.
Yeah.
For the first time, and
For
one of
the
your
very first
only
time.
right. Okay, yeah, that makes sense
The
now.
only friend that he gets to meet. So I eat my chips, and guess who gets to eat my chicken? I take my chicken to Dancer Boy. And I do this quite often, like quite a bit. Like for as long as he was buying us food, I would eat like the carbs, and I'll take the meat to him to eat.
Jafina, tell me something. Did you at least feel guilty every time you handed chicken to another man that had been bought for you by someone who loves you?
He knew it came from Job. He knew.
But for you, how did you feel handing that chicken over all the time, knowing that it's coming from somebody's heart, it's coming from somebody's well-hard earned cash who he thinks is taking good care of? But he wasn't. How did you feel? Did you feel guilty? Did you feel unbothered?
Now I'm feeling guilty. Back then, I don't think it bothered me much, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dancer Boy, did he understand that you and Job were boyfriend and girlfriend?
He did.
And he didn't mind?
Dancer, well, remember Dancer lifestyle. You were eating somebody else's chicken.
This is a
literally and
lot.
figuratively.
Like this is a lot. I am literally speechless.
I know.
Okay, all right. So you're handing the chicken over. He's munching the chicken. Is enjoying.
And whilst he ate, one day he tells me, I'm not going to be able to do this for you.
Do what?
Exactly. He's like, eating the chicken is like, I'm not going to be able to provide this lifestyle for you. I'm not going to be able to be doing the dates and buying you food. I cannot even afford it.
Wow.
He says,
and what did you say?
I think I made a joke out of it. I was like, what, the chicken? Don't worry, I'm not into meat. I think that's what I said. Something stupid like that. Anyway. This goes on for a while, and then the Dancer Boy gets his own girlfriend because he's tired of being a side bitch. Like, he's tired at some point.
He's tired of being a side bitch. I'm only laughing because I've never heard a guy being called that before. But that's literally what he was in this case.
That's what he was.
Oh my God.
That's what he was. And he gets...
Okay, so he got tired of being a side bitch. And then...
So yeah, he got his own girlfriend. So at this point, we're both cheating. But I'm on a break, but we're both cheating, yeah? I realized that, okay, maybe if I break up with Job, I thought that I was playing this out in my head, like this card goes here, this piece goes here. Maybe if I break up with Job, the Dancer and I can have a better chance.
Right, okay.
So I call Job, I'm like, we need to talk, this is when we get to talk. I go to his place. And he's now asking the right questions. He's like, what is up? Is there someone? I tell him, yeah, but it's just a fling. He's like, who is it? I tell him it's just I was not able to tell him that it was a dancer because remember the ponytail guy?
Yeah.
Now a dancer, I think he would have been crushed just by
Oh, I
thinking.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm going for a type.
Okay.
So I tell him that it's just somebody from home, but it's just a fling. It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He asks me, do you love me?
Mm-hmm.
I said no.
Why were you suddenly being very honest now? Is it because you knew you wanted out and you had nothing to lose?
I think so. I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And how did he take that?
He was crushed. I've never seen an African man cry because they're taught not to, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him cry. And by the way, gets even worse because that day his dad was visiting him. He was in town. And soon after me telling him all that, his dad walks in. Yeah.
Lord have
He
mercy.
goes to the bedroom to just cry because he can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
And Tinto, I know this is when it gets really fucked up. Because you know what I do? I remain in the living room and I'm chatting up his dad. And in my head, I'm thinking, I want to know if I can be accepted by a father. You know, am I the nice daughter-in-law type? Am I the kind who's loved by a father-in-law? That was what I was thinking. So I was basically charming him up, doing the most. I know, like, yeah, I'm in uni. I am doing this and that in uni. You know, I was just doing the most.
Oh my
While
gosh,
his son
Mm.
is in the bedroom crying. Anyway, that was that. And that's how I broke up with him.
That is painful.
It is. It is.
Did he at least try and contact you after?
We tried. I think I went back to him, but that's story for. I went back. I tried going back to him like 2 years later, but story for another day.
Is that because it didn't work out with Dancer Boy?
Now, you know how you think. I'm sure you're thinking, I deserve karma, right? I deserve karma. I deserve life. Lemons, you know, the
Yeah.
lemons that life throw your way. And I get it. Very cold. Served very cold.
Oh, you got it, yeah?
Very cold. Because 2 weeks later.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm inclined to have a part 2 of this story.
Really?
Because looking at where our time is and the amount of detail that we're going to get about how karma dished you with lemons, I'm going to cut it real short and I'm not going to enjoy it as much as I want to because I think I want to really go into the details.
Yeah.
And what I think it also does, it allows me to go full circle with what happened then to then make it okay for you to share your story now.
That's true.
So for everybody listening to this episode, this is the first time I've had to do this, but I'll have to introduce a part 2 to this episode and hopefully you guys are going to tag along with us. But right now, I'm really, really feeling crushed for Job because he was clueless. But in the same breath, at least he was able to get the true side of the story and that you were honest with him, even though your reason for the honesty wasn't really out of the goodness of your heart. It was really for a selfish reason.
Yeah.
It was for you to feel free of Job to then be with the dancer so that you can say to the dancer, you don't need to worry about Job anymore. I'm yours 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So, who did you have sex with first then? The dancer or somebody else?
Somebody else altogether.
And is that going to be in part 2 of the story?
He's a skunk, but I guess he can get 2 minutes.
He's a skunk. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
life dished me my lemons,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to go any further into this because I can tell there's a hell of a lot to unpack with this episode. So for those who are listening to this particular episode of The Feeling Station, 2 main lessons came out. One, the first one being fall in love with how you're treated, because if somebody values you, they will treat you right. It's obvious who was treating you right here, right? Job was treating you the way that you deserved to be treated. And what you're
Yep.
basically saying is that if somebody treats you like that, cherish them because they are the real
Yep.
deal. And then your
Yes.
second lesson was good boys ain't fun, but bad boys ain't good. And I think that is
Yeah.
even more obvious, especially with the dancer guy. And the muscle man seems like he was okay. Doesn't sound like he was really a bad guy. He was somebody who was into you and you guys were just having your fling and he gave you good head.
Yeah.
But the good boys bit, I've heard this over and over and over again.
Good on
And
one.
I just don't know how that's going to work for good guys. You just have to secretly hope that somebody falls in love with you who treats you and values you the way that you're supposed to be valued. And same goes for good girls.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
some really, really good girls out there who, for some reason, some guys may feel they're no fun. But if somebody doesn't take care of them the right way, those good girls will go, and the bad guys will be left with nothing else to hang on
That's
to.
true.
Right.
That's
So
true.
I'm going to catch you on part 2 of this. I'll give you a shout probably sometime next week for us to touch base. But I really, really, really want to hear more about the story. You've got loads to talk about, Jafina. Thank you so much for your story.
Okay, you're welcome. Happy to share.
Yeah, and thank you for those who've joined this episode of The Feeling Station. I hope I catch you in next weekend's episode where Jafina and I are going to continue this story about what happened with her and what karma did to her and Dancer Boy. You've been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in next week's episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over. Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah. Kuchiziro amai. Love is a fire.
Rudo imoto runoto kuchiziro amai.